Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Double R's Kitchen. Today we are doing some more cookies. It's the season. We're pretty much about to be in November, and I have one of my favorite books here. It's called Cookies, and we're going to be making crinkled molasses cookies today. Now, I really like molasses cookies. This actually is one of my favorites. My little brother, back when we were kids, he used to make these cookies a lot. So anytime I have these cookies, I think about my little bro. But today, I pretty much have everything mixed already or pre-mixed. We're going to be using flour, of course. We're actually going to be using vegetable shortening, aka Crisco. We got granulated sugar. We have some molasses, some ground cinnamon, some ginger, some ground clove, some cardamom, and some salt. Let's dive right into it. So already I have my Crisco, my shortening, my sugar, and an egg. Over here I have the flour mixture with all of the other ingredients stirred already. And then of course I have some sugar right here, because once we roll these out into balls, we're going to roll them in the sugar and then it's going to go into the oven. Of course I have my oven preheated at 350 degrees. And these will go into the oven for, what does it say? 8 to 12 minutes. So I didn't forget my favorite ingredient today. I have it, and I'm going to put a dash or two in here. Just give it that additional, I wonder what that flavor is that I can't tell what it is. So I'm going to move this book to the side, and we're going to get to mixing. I would say this is mixed pretty well, but like always, scrape down the side of your bowl and scrape the bottom too. And of course, we're going to give that an additional mix. All right, now the directions say to go ahead and stir in the flour mixture. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. We're going to do a little at a time. Now, I noticed with this recipe, for one, or not this recipe, but with this cookie book, it doesn't miss. Everything that I've made out of this cookie book has been really, really good. The other thing that I've noticed is these cookies make a whole lot. Like every time I read a recipe, it'll say mix 3 dozen, make 6 dozen. So I usually half the recipe. Of course, the details will be in the description for you guys. But I also just noticed today that even though it says it makes 6 dozen, in the picture, the cookies are very small. I don't make small cookies, so I don't have to worry about having too many cookies on my hand. So let me go ahead and pour this in, and we're going to do a little bit at a time. We're going to pour some of this flour mixture in, mix it in, and then casually, as time goes, add in more until it's all gone. So I need to scrape down my bowl. The other thing I like about this recipe is it doesn't require you to let these chill. A lot of the times when I do cookie recipes, the dough is supposed to chill for X amount of time, an hour, sometimes 2 hours, sometimes 3. This recipe does not call for that. It's you mix it. After you're done mixing it, go ahead and roll it into balls. So I'm going to give this one last little mix here, and then we'll go ahead and roll these out. All right, so I'm supposed to shape these into 1-inch balls. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to roll them a little bit bigger than that. But I got a word for y'all today. So I know that everyone is seeing the temperature of the state that we're in the United States, right? We have federal employees who basically don't have a way of getting income. There's a shutdown. And then we have people who leverage assistance. Come November, they're not going to have that assistance. I went and looked to see what the overall percentage is for those who are unemployed in the United States, and it's 4.2%. So if you look at that in terms of people, that's 7.4 million people. That's 7.4 million people who don't have a job, don't have a source of income, and now come November are not going to have a way to feed their family. Why am I bringing this up? The state of our country is not going to get any better, no matter what people may think. It's actually going to get worse. We're living in those last days that the Bible talks about. Matthew 24, the disciples in Matthew 24, they're asking Jesus, like, hey, what is the sign when you're going to come back? And he tells them, and he gives them a list of things that happen. So when you get a chance, read Matthew verse 20 or chapter 24, because a whole lot is shared in that. But what happens when people don't have food to eat? What are people going to do? I'm going to share with you a story. So I'm going to take it back. Let's go back to Exodus in the Bible, where the Israelites are traveling through the desert, right? They leave Egypt and they are traveling in the desert, and they leave with wealth. You know, Pharaoh has to let them leave, but they don't leave empty-handed. They leave with wealth, with gold and all kinds of goats, all kinds of stuff. But who takes care of them? Who's taking care of them in that story? How do they eat? God was feeding them. It's called manna. He was providing manna to them every morning. They didn't have something to eat. Every morning when they woke up, he provided manna for them to eat. So where am I going with this story? Where I'm going with it is, I'm going right here with it. Whatever it is that you don't have, call on the Most High for, because he will provide it. He will always provide you with what you need. It doesn't matter how dark things look. It doesn't matter what's not available. If you truly call on him and believe in him, when you call on him, he will answer you and you will receive what it is that you need. So I'm going to leave y'all with that today. I'm going to finish rolling these balls, and then I'm going to put them in the oven. They go in the oven at 350 degrees for 8 to 12 minutes. Everybody's oven is different. At 8 minutes, check your oven, see how they're doing, and I'll be right back with y'all. All right, my oven is about to go off. I had these in there for 10 minutes instead of 12. I did 10. So let's see what they look like. Look at that. Now see, I want to show y'all the picture. See the picture? You see mine? I think I did a good job. So once these have cooled down, I'll give y'all a taste test of what I think, and then I'll be right back. All right, let's test these out. I should have waited a little bit more, but it smells so good in my house, I couldn't wait. That's a good cookie, y'all. I've made molasses cookies before, but not this recipe. And I think the secret ingredient, besides my favorite ingredient, is the cardamom. I've never made these with cardamom in them, and that gives it a different taste. This is really good. So that's going to conclude our video today. I hope y'all take care. I hope you enjoyed me making these. But like always, be blessed, take care, and don't forget to say your prayers.